In this part, we want the input field will display the selected title, the date, and also the details when the user clicks on the item. So we need to create a function that can receive the ID titled, details, and also the date. So now we're back to our project, and first of all we have to create another state so we can know that this is edit mode or not edit mode. So we use the use state, and by default we set this as false. And now under here we create edit to do, and we just need to pass the ID title detail and also the date, and we need to set to do, and then we set edit to be true, and then we go to the A tag, and then we set on click, and then we pass edit to do, and we pass this ID title detail and the date. And since we cannot just use ID because the ID is not defined here, instead we have the todo.id, todo.title, and todo.details. So we have to add the todo dot in front of each of these values. So now if we go back to the project, if we click on this, you can see the value displayed inside the input field. And now we are going to make some modification on this button. So we want the text will change to update when the user click on the items, and when click outside the input area, it will back to the submit values. So now we're back to our button. The button is here, and now we are going to add a curly bracket, and now we are going to check if this is added. Then we should have the edit button. We delete this create to do functions for the edit button, and we change the text to be update, and I think we do not need the submit. Now we just add a empty functions, and then we try to click on the other area. And there is no effect because we forget to set the edit to be false under this use effect. So if we check this is outside the input area, we should set the edit to be false. So if we back to here, we can see if we click on the area outside the input field, it will back to the submit text. And we also want to clear this value. So we are going to set the to do. Let's see what happens. We are going to set this title to be empty string and detail to be empty string, and also the date to be null. Now if we click outside this area, they said the value cannot be null, so we can try to set this to be the current date. So we set this to empty string and save it. Now you can see the date will return to just the format. So now if we try to do this again, we click on this, it changes to update, and the input field has all the values. And if we click outside, it will back to submit buttons, and also all the fields will become empty.